about this for a second. Imagine leaving behind everything and everyone you know, traveling for days entirely alone. Well, as Tom Hansen shows us, that's what thousands of young people in Central America are choosing to do, and it's causing a lot of tension here in the U.S.
From New York to California,
USA!
Michigan,
we must act,
to Texas.
These are poor children, for heaven's sake.
Over the summer, there was a battle over our border. What should the government do about the surge in young people crossing illegally into the U.S. from Mexico without their parents? Over 60,000 since October, more than double the amount from the year before.
They're not equipped to do the journey. They're told that it's quick, they're told that it's easy, and it's not.
They risk everything to come, with no guarantee that they'll even survive the trip. They face kidnappings, dehydration, and drowning along the over 1,000-mile journey. So why are so many risking their lives to come here? We traveled to the country of Honduras, where almost a third of the immigrants are from. That's where we met Christopher Maradiaga.
There are people who go that have problems.
Christopher spent almost 3 weeks making the dangerous trek to the border before swimming across the Rio Grande River into Texas. The current is dangerous and many don't make it.
Like 15 or 20 minutes, I was swept downriver for more than half a mile.
Christopher was caught by the U.S. Border Patrol shortly after and was immediately deported, sent back to Honduras. But he says the risk was worth it. If he had stayed, he would have faced death either way.
In the streets, if you're walking around, it's pretty dangerous.
Does that make you nervous at all that you have to go back to that?
Yes, I'm scared, but what can I do?
And we heard similar stories all over Honduras. Kids, some of them not even teenagers, are leaving behind their friends and families for a chance at the American dream. Over 75% of the young people trying to cross the border are coming from the countries of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, all of which are struggling with extreme poverty and violence. Violence from the drug-related gang wars that plague the region.
We're standing in the heart of San Pedro Sula. The city center is bustling right now, but when the sun goes down, it'll look more like a ghost town because everyone is scared from all of the violence. It used to be a quiet place, but it's recently earned the title as the murder capital of the world. In fact, it's had the highest murder rate per capita since 2010. Would you describe this neighborhood as safe or dangerous?
Josue Hernandez lives in the Cabanitas barrio, near one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in San Pedro Sula. It's controlled by the Mara 18th Street gang.
Here on this corner is where they took my bike.
You got robbed?
In fact, even though we had armed police officers with us, he refused to walk down certain streets.
¿Por qué?
Because it is very hot there. It's very dangerous.
What he's saying is that we shouldn't go any further than 1 block this way because it's a hot spot in San Pedro Sula where there's a lot of violence, a lot of killing, and that it's just simply not safe for us to walk any further.
In many of the neighborhoods around San Pedro Sula, street gangs recruit young boys, and those who don't join often become targets.
One time they called here on our house phone. He told me they were targeting my mother. They knew where she was and who she was with. He said they were going to do something to her, and that they needed 5,000 lempiras, which is a little over $200, and that I needed to pay the people that day or they would hurt her.
But it's not just street gangs causing the problems in Honduras. More organized groups, like drug cartels, have taken over businesses in the country, including hospitals like this one, where you either pay the cartel or you're left to die.
When we pulled out our cameras, one of the hospital workers came up and warned us that gangs that were inside the hospital were watching us, and they were getting a little concerned that we were around, so she told us that we should probably get out of the area because it was just too dangerous.
And it's all being fueled by drug money. The drugs that pass through Honduras each year on their way to the United States are worth more than Honduras's entire annual economy. More than half the population is poor, living on just about $6 a day. Many people have no option but to work for one of the drug cartels, leave, or risk being assaulted or even killed.
Every day when you open up the paper here in Honduras, there's more evidence of violence. This is the picture of a funeral for a journalist who was killed, but it doesn't just stop there. Police chiefs, mayors, the president of a local university, they've all been killed and their families have been targeted. And really that just goes to show that no one is safe from the violence here.
Here in Honduras, it is very common to assault someone. It doesn't matter if you don't have money or even if you do. They will always kill the person, it doesn't matter.
It's easy to see why many young people think leaving for the United States is their only option. Tom Hansen, Channel 1 News.
Tomorrow, we take a deeper look at the political debate over illegal immigration here in the U.S. And to check out some behind-the-scenes photos from Honduras, just head to channel1.com. We'll be right back.